Says it's setting it up. Hi, everyone. This is Kathi, your professional organizer, and I'm with my girlfriend, Kirsten Jacobson, and we're going to talk about organizing your finances, how to save money, get yourself financially organized.
Hi, everyone. This is Kathi, your
so that
professional
you
organizer,
can
and I'm with my
get
girlfriend.
things done. And excuse me for that. But anyhow, this is Kirsten Jacobson, and she helps people organize their finances and save money and have enough money so that it doesn't run out before you do. How you doing?
I am fantastic.
Great. Well, I like to talk about organizing things, and you like to talk about organizing money. So let's get started. And if you have someone who doesn't really know what to plan on for the future, what would you recommend that they do to start?
That's a big question.
It is. I thought I'd start off with a bang right there.
I recommend having a conversation first, is opening up the conversation because a lot of people don't want to talk about money. So I think it's the first thing to do is if you're in a relationship, having an open, honest discussion, right, about finances. And even before you get into a relationship, it's a very good conversation to have because if going into a relationship, if you're $150,000 in debt and your potential spouse doesn't know about that, it could end very badly. So just having a conversation is where I suggest you start off with, whether it's with me or somebody that you know and trust. Start there.
So start with your partner and then move forward to talk to an outside observer, an outside helper, a financial planner like yourself. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know if you ever watched Married at First Sight, but that was one of the most recent couples issues, is that she had a lot of college debt because she became a nurse. And that was not forthcoming at the beginning of the relationship because, you marry a stranger. So that was definitely a sticky point. I can see how that would alter a little bit about the scenario of the relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
And what other tips would you give people who are trying to get their acts together financially? They talk to someone and then
sit down and scrub your bank statements for the last 3 months. Find out where your money is going. And it doesn't have to be fancy. Get a spreadsheet. I use a Google Doc, a Google spreadsheet. And I actually, Google spreadsheet has a free spending plan, an monthly expense that I just took and used and built it into what was relevant to my business. So get a spreadsheet and write every expense down. Then you're going to know your hard monthly costs, right? And then your soft monthly costs. Soft meaning, are you going out to the bar too much? And it's not really part of your plan. And find out where your money's going.
Yeah, that's super important. Yeah, I did do a spreadsheet myself on Google, and the monthly costs and then the annual costs and then what account's being paid, what account pays it, and is it auto pay, is it not auto pay, all that good stuff. And it's a good thing to know. My problem is coming up with getting the fields to all add up because I'm not that good of a sheet developer. But I think that is important.
Yes, absolutely. And Google spreadsheet does that for you. You just click the sum button and then highlight what you want. It really doesn't have to be anything special. Nothing that you don't pay for it, for crying out loud. This should all be free.
Yeah.
The information and everything that you're doing should all be complimentary.
Yeah. So once you know what's coming in, what's going out, how do you account for that? Like as an entrepreneur, have different amounts coming in every month. How do you work with that number, the undisclosed number that varies?
Yes, cash flow. We do need to be cognizant of our cash flow. So first and foremost, we need to start off with our goals and dreams, right? Because every dollar needs a job. Otherwise, it'll find a job, right? So
I like that. That's a good one.
short term, midterm, long term. What are your financial goals? Because we want to have dreams and goals, right? Is it buying a new car? Is it buying a new house? Is it going on a big vacation? Those need to be part of your short term, midterm, long term plan. Then move on to cash flow. Like we just discussed, your hard monthly expenses. Um, and then going into your income flow. As entrepreneurs, it does shift. So for my business, I have to forecast 6 months in advance. What's coming in? What part of my commissions are coming in? What are part of my passive residual is coming in? And where is it coming from? What does that look like? Right? These are estimations, but you do have a working knowledge of what your income is going to be if you've been in business for 5+ years,
Mhm.
right? And write it all down, the name of the project, the name of the client, the projected amount, and then what month the first, 30%, 50% that you're going to get paid, right? That's your forecasting,
Mhm.
and plug those numbers in. It's month by month, right? For your expenses, and it's month by month for your income.
Yeah, absolutely. And that will show you then. So what do you think? What's the good percentage? Let's do the basics here for those listening. What are the basics as far as the percentage that you should be paying for your mortgage or your rent, the percentage you should be paying for other things?
Mm. Um, there's different percentages out there for whoever is talking. I've seen different amounts. I've seen, you know, it should only be 7% of your income should be your mortgage. And then I've seen 13%.
Mhm.
Truly, when you do your cash flow, that's going to dictate what you can afford for a monthly mortgage payment. Now, it's not just a mortgage payment, right? You've got to look at the big picture. What is your property taxes going to be? What is your um, homeowner's policy going to be? Are you going to have earthquake insurance? These are other things that you're going to have to tackle in the long run. So it's really not a set um, percentage, right? You have to look at the big picture and your cash flow first and foremost. And
Yeah,
I think
oh, sorry, go on.
people get it uh, wrong when they think going into a real estate transaction that buying real estate is an asset. An asset brings money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. It's as simple as that. If that house is not putting money in your pocket, then it's a liability.
Mm. Yeah, people don't think of it that way, do they? They think of it as an asset for sure. It's like,
Yeah.
well, it's going to appreciate, especially out here in California, it's going to appreciate a whatever, 4 to 6 to 8% a year. And so they think of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree that I bet you that's the difference in the 7 to the 13% earmarkers is whether they're accounting in the insurances that they're involved in. Probably some are and some aren't.
Right. Is it an investment property, or is it going to be their primary residence? Because there's different taxations on that as well.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So, any closing tips, anything that you would tell people?
That knowing your financial needs analysis is going to give you confidence and clarity, but opening up and having the conversation and whatever hangups, first and foremost, what is your mindset around money? Find that out first. Is it lack? Are you afraid of money? Do you think it's difficult to come by? Um, you know, ask yourself those questions. do you think that, oh, those things aren't for people like me? Then talking to yourself about why do you feel this way about money? Um, and getting a hold on that, because emotions, let me just say that money is very emotional. I'm emotional around money. That's why I don't handle my own money. I go to my financial person and ask them, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that? Um, and going into conversations with my spouse as well. He can detach. I am much more emotional on that aspect. So I become prepared and armed when I meet with my spouse every once a month or every other month and have these discussions. So opening up the conversation and try to keep your emotions out of it as much as possible is really going to be integral in your relationship with money.
That's funny. It's like I always say masters hire masters. So, you're a financial planner, but you have someone else do your financial planning and someone else handling it. And I think that's very important. I mean, I've hired other professional organizers to help me get organized, right? So, we teach what we most need to learn quite often. But most importantly, I think an objective observer is what we all need. Someone with no emotional commitment, no emotional, none of those hitches, so to speak, to the way that we're thinking that can think clearly for us. So I think that's great advice. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So
So
if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that, Kirsten?
I'm on all social platforms, but I can give you my cell phone number. They can reach out to me via cell, text me, email me, or any of my social media. And I can give that to you to post on this
Yeah,
video.
I'll pop it down below when we finish up with this live cast. I'll put the information for Kirsten down below so that you'll have it.
Great.
So that's great. Anything that you want to talk about that perhaps we didn't mention?
Debt is a real hot topic right now, right? Americans are in a lot of debt. Sit down and take a look. Once again, pull out that same spreadsheet. Put down all of your debt on that spreadsheet. Get clarity on it. Because you can do one of two things. You can run and hide, or you can face it head on. Either way, you're right. So getting a hold of what your debt is, and don't forget to include your mortgage on that, those car payments, and make sure you put your interest on there that you owe. The APYs on there are very important. That will give you clarity. And take a look. And once again, you're going to scrub your credit card statements, scrub your HELOCs, your mortgages, find out what those APYs are, and get a hold of it and see what you're really paying every month in interest and how you can start tackling it one account at a time. That's how I've done it. And don't think for a second that my finances are in pristine order. That's just not the case at all. I've gone through some stuff in order to get through to where I'm at today.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all have. So APY, I want to say annual percentage yield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I got that right. Okay. Good, Kathi.
That's right. Good job, Kathi.
All right. Well, this has been real, and I hope that you that have watched and are watching and will watch in the future have gotten something out of this. Make sure Kirsten's real and she knows what she's talking about, and she's kind and gentle. So you can reach out to her, and professional. You can reach out to her and let her know your situation, and she will come up with some ideas, suggestions, solutions for you if you feel like you just don't know where you're floating right now. Good thing is to figure out where you're floating, where in the river are you, and are you going downstream or upstream? That's what I always say.
Yeah. And you're never going to step into the same river twice, are you?
No, and that's kind of the fun. That's also the crazy at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys, well, it's been real. And thanks, Kirsten, for coming on. And we will talk to all of you sooner than later, hopefully. Check out the links below and make sure you click that you like it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care.
Take care.